Welcome back, and today what I want to do is take you through a mobility routine that you can do on a daily basis that will really help you to safeguard your joints, to keep a good range of movement in your joints, and maybe even to build on that range of movement and expand that. But as a yoga teacher, of course, I know better than anybody the value of yoga. But since I did a mobility training in January 2018, I've really begun to realise how important it is to look after our joints. And yoga goes some way to doing that, but mobility work is that added extra. It's like the icing on the cake. And if you can learn this routine, this will take you 5 or 10 minutes a day. It's not a big routine. We'll have to take a little bit of time just for me to teach it to you properly. But once you have it, you can get up and you can be doing this whilst you're cleaning your teeth and getting dressed, and it doesn't need to take you a lot of time. We're going to start with the neck. It's a bit like a game of heads, shoulders, knees and toes, because we're going to go through the whole body. But starting with the neck and kind of working our way down. So this comes up a lot in class. If you can, I'm going to find a chair and we can do this sitting on a chair to start. So you could even do this at your desk if you're at work. And if we start with the neck, what we're going to do is we're going to take the left ear over to the left shoulder. And then we're going to turn the head and take the chin to the shoulder, and then sweep the chin across the front of your chest. Take the chin now to your right shoulder, and then tip the head so the right ear comes to the right shoulder, and then take your head all the way back. Left ear, left shoulder, chin comes to the shoulder, chin across the front of your chest. Chin to the right shoulder, ear drops down, head drops back. And that's it. For the neck, keep going there. You might want to pause at some point along the way and go back in the other direction. And then once you have that, make your way back to center. So that's the neck. Then we're moving on to the thoracic spine. If I turn to the side, I can show you a little bit more easily this. The top part of your back will get a lot of tension there if we're sitting all day. So what I'm going to ask you to do is cross the arms as if you were giving yourself a big hug. And take the elbows forward a little bit and then bring them in towards your chest. Now take your chin towards your chest. If you want to watch me first, you can watch me first. With that rounding of the upper back, the elbows drawing in and the chin to your chest. Can you take a twist to your left? Can you take your elbows around to the left? Now can you drop your left shoulder down? And now start to push your chest into your arms. So you lift the chest, we're going over to the other side, we're going to side bend. So draw that right shoulder down and now bring in that little twist. And then bring the arms around in front of you. Can you bring that twist in first? Can you now drop the left shoulder and at the same time press your chest up into your arms? Now side bend to the right. Now twist. Keep hugging those elbows in. Come around across the front. We're twisting to the left. Now we're taking that left elbow down. And then pressing the chest into the arms. Can we side bend to the right? Can we twist? Can we hug the elbows in? Did you get that? I'm going to do the other side. So again, push your elbows forward, draw them in, keep your chin into your chest as you're doing this. Take a twist to the right. Can you drop that right shoulder? And now can you press your chest up into your arms? Can you drop your left shoulder? Keep the chin in, now twist. Sweep the arms down in front of you. Twist to the right, drop the right shoulder, up and over, drop the left shoulder, take the twist and come forward. Now release. That's the one that I think is the hardest to get the hang of, but you'll feel that as you're moving around, really opening up that upper part of your spine. I'm going to turn to the side again. We're going to come into the scapula. Scapula are your shoulder blades, and we want to get the shoulder blades moving. You will be surprised how many people's shoulder blades don't move in the way that they're meant to. So we're going to bring the arms down. You can make gentle fists. You can just tighten the muscles in the arms a little bit. And then you're shoulders forward. Slide the shoulders forward. You see shoulder blades move away from each other on the back. Pull them up, draw them back, release them down. Bring them forward, pull them up, take them back and bring them down. Keep breathing. Forward, squeeze, back and down. Forward, up, back and down. And you could do that in the other direction. So if you were doing that a little bit quicker, you could round off the edges, but just make sure that you're not kind of trying to use your arms, but all of that movement comes from the shoulders. So that's our scapular cars. And when I say cars, it means controlled articular rotations. Controlled articular rotations. It's a bit of a mouthful, so we call them cars. So we've done neck cars, we've done our thoracic cars, we've done our shoulder cars, or our scapular cars, and now we're doing our shoulder cars. Turning back towards you there, we're going to bring the left hand down. Straight arm, again, you want to engage those muscles a little bit. The other hand can come onto your chest, or I like to actually bring it just to the base of the rib cage there. We're going to bring that arm up and just notice how far you can go. So we're going to try and bring the arm straight up alongside the ear. And then what we want to do is we want to rotate the arm from up here, really. So it's almost like you're trying to open out that armpit. So rotate that arm bone, and it's going to turn your palm. Your palm is going to turn away from you. And then when you can't go any further there, can we sweep that hand behind us, but without letting the chest turn? So I'm hitting the wall there. We're going to bring the hand back behind you, and then you're going to keep turning that arm bone so that you see how the little finger leads forward. I'm going to move a bit this way because I'm hitting that wall. So coming back then, push the thumb back towards the wall behind you. Can't go any further, so we want to draw that shoulder back and rotate that arm bone. Can you keep turning that arm and turning the palm till the palm turns more up towards the ceiling, and then you bring that arm over and the little finger leads down. Let's try again. Coming up, rotating out, don't let the whole body go with you here. Sweep that hand round behind you. You're going to keep turning that arm, little finger leads forward, thumb pushes back, and then rotate, turning, until that little finger comes over and down. Just feel that. You might even, for a moment, close your eyes and feel the difference between one shoulder and the other. I'm actually looking in the camera there, and one shoulder looks like it's dropped down a bit lower than the other, and I can feel that. So these are really powerful movements that we're doing. Let's try that on the other side. If I move a little bit, just make sure you skim the side of your chair. Thumb comes up, all the way up alongside your ear. Can we rotate that arm bone? Turn the palm out. Don't let the whole torso go with you. Sweep the hand behind you and keep rotating that arm bone in the socket. Little finger leads forward. Thumb pushes back. When you get stuck, start to draw that shoulder, rotate that arm. Keep turning. And then the little finger leads over and back. Fantastic. Coming up again. Take your time. As you get used to these movements, the way to make it stronger is to imagine that you are now moving through thick mud or molasses. So you actually create a little bit of resistance. Push back, rotate that shoulder, turning the arm, turning the palm. Arm comes over and all the way down. And you only have to do one or two of those, but if you build those into your daily routine, your shoulders will thank you so much for that, I'm telling you. So give that a little roll out. Just the main thing with all of these movements is never push through pain. If you get to a point and you go, oh, there's a real pain in there, especially if it's like the closing angle of a joint, you really need to go and see somebody and get some help. You know, you really need to be careful with your joints. If there's no pain, but it's just hard work, then you should be fine. But if you come into, especially a closing angle, which would be like if you pull your knee in towards your body and you get a real sharp pain in that capsule, in that area, go and get checked out. You know, go and get help. Don't do anything that is painful. But in general, these are very safe. So that's shoulders. Coming into elbows, I'm going to stay on my chair. Bring the elbows or the arms into the sides of your body and turn your palms up towards the ceiling. And where we're going to go here is we're going to bring the arms up, like you're trying to show the wall behind you, the palm of your hands. And then from there you're going to rotate so that the palms come forward. Keep the fingers tightly in together and then pushing down. Now I might click in my elbows here when I start to bring in some resistance. Turn the palms out. And what I mean by resistance again is imagine that you were lifting something really heavy or pushing through molasses or really thick mud. Bringing the arms as close to your body as you can and then rotating the palms away and pushing something really heavy down. Rotate the palms out, thumbs out, come up. You should start to feel this in around your elbow joints and your upper arms. Push something really heavy away. There you go. Always does that. That proves it's working. There's no pain, just that nice little click. So you can do a few of those. Then we're going to come into the wrists. And the important thing with the wrists is that you don't let the arm do the work. I mean, it's easy to roll your wrists when you're actually using your shoulders and your arms. We want to keep the arms dead straight. We're working from the wrists. Try just going in and out. Notice I'm not bending the elbows. This is coming from the wrist joint. Then go all the way up and go all the way down. Nice. And then join that together so that you're making big circles just from the wrists. Biggest circles that you can. You go both directions. Nice work. And then release. And you can do that even more controlled. Like for example, if you pin down, or this way maybe with the hand up, pin down the forearm so the forearm can't do the work. And then work from there. You'd be surprised how much you have to stop that arm from coming into play. So wrists, really important. Now we're moving on to the whole spine. So we want to get movement through the whole spine. I'm actually going to do this one from standing. And I move my chair out of the way. Often in class we would do this one on hands and knees. We call this one cat-cow. And it's a spinal movement where we tuck the tailbone. So if hands and knees is a good position for you to come into. But what we want to really do is really think about isolating each vertebra in the spine. So I'm actually going to show you this one from standing. And I'm showing you from standing because really there is no need to even get down on the floor. If you have a chair and a wall, you can do all of this, as I say, in between getting ready to start your day. So I'm going to get you to bend your knees and bring your hands down onto your knees. And I want you to find this lower lumbar spine. And we're just going to try and take the tailbone down and pull the belly in. Okay, so if I turn even more sideways, pulling the belly in, tucking the tailbone down. Notice this part of my back is straight. Now release that and stick your bum out. Push your sit bones back. And now tuck it under again. And even that movement in and of itself will go a long way to releasing tension in the lower back. Okay, so if you've got that kind of achy lower back, you could do a few of these in between sitting at your desk or whatever and release that. We're going to go into this full spinal movement. So can we tuck the tailbone under, pull the belly in, And then start to really work through each vertebra. So we are rounding the back. We're going to pull in the front ribs. We're going to slowly take the chin to the chest. Biggest back arch you can make. Push your mid-back up towards the ceiling. Pull that belly in. Like you're trying to bring the pubic bone and the bottom of the rib cage together. Now start to release and lift your tailbone again. That pelvic tilt forward. And then you're going to take your chest forward, and then you're going to lift your head, and you can actually squeeze the shoulders back. Now take the tailbone down. So each vertebra, one at a time, rounding it out. Pulling in the front ribs, chin to chest. And then lifting again through the tailbone. Dropping the belly. Chest moves forward. Draw those shoulders back. And then you could do a few more of those, okay? But you get the idea. Really, really, really nice work for the spine. So far, neck. We've done our thoracic spine. Remember our little hugs? We've done our scapular cars, shoulder blades, yeah? We've done our wrists. And we've done our shoulders. We've moved on now to the spine, so coming down to the hips. So literally think about head, shoulders, knees and toes. Coming down to the hips, hip cars, everybody's favourite. Use a wall or a chair for some support. I'm going to go through this fairly quickly, but you can try this on your own at home. So doing this by the wall is quite strong on the standing leg. We can also do these from hands and knees. You can also do them lying down on the floor. If you want more help with these, come to me, private message me, and I can give you some alternate videos. But let's just try a couple of these. So we're going to do left leg first. Can you lift that left leg up? Okay, we want to keep everything very controlled. You know, the motto for this mobility work is control yourself. So it's all about stability and control so that we can isolate the joint and build up that kind of nervous system connection to that joint. So that knee is lifted. We then take that knee out to the side. Just try that first, in and out. And then when we go out, we're going to try and lift the foot. It's only going to be a little bit. There's a small movement there. Lift and then push that foot back. And then bring that knee around. So take a minute there. The issue with this is that we end up wanting to bring the whole body in to compensate, because that's what we do. If we have tightness in a joint, we'll use the body to compensate to increase the movement. Try not to do that. Try and isolate that joint. Knee comes up, knee goes out, foot pushes back and comes around. If you do that in the other direction, it would look like this. Pressing back, so using that bum muscle, lifting that knee out and driving it around in a circle. Back, don't let the back come into this, belly stays strong, out to the side and around. I use the words yummy often to describe these. They're not really yummy, they're hard. But they're so good for you. Let's try that on the other side. So the knee comes up and goes out. Tip back, push that heel towards the wall behind you, bring the knee around. Up, out, back, keep that belly engaged and around. Try it the other direction, push the heel back, knee comes out and around. Push the heel back, knee lifts up, like cock your leg up, bring it around, big circle. And again, you only need to do a few of those. You will feel that work. It's quite a lot. So from there, we're going to do knees. I'm going to bring my chair back for this one. I'll sit back a little bit. So knees mostly do this, okay? There is a little bit more movement within that. So if I sit back even further, if you take a hold of your shin bone, can you without moving the rest of your leg, can you get some movement there of the shin side to side? Now, we're not just moving the foot, we're actually trying to get this. So if you actually put your fingers either side of that shin bone, you're trying to get that to move. And so that movement, albeit very slight, is also happening in that knee joint, a little bit. So just bearing that in mind, you can work on that a little bit. See if you can free that up. And then where we're going to go with this is we're going to lift this leg up and we're going to extend, and then you're going to try and take the little toes out a little bit, so that movement through the shin bone, and then bend the knee, and then turn that shin bone the other way, push. Okay, so it's a slight movement. It's really tempting to just move from the ankle, but try and get that movement with the shin bone, and then that will work into that knee a little bit more. So you just do a few of those. You might keep that knee lifted and then do some lovely big ankle rolls, a few circles in each direction. As we did with the wrist, try and keep everything else now steady and just work from that ankle joint. Big, 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 big circles, nice and slow. And then release. Other side, again, that idea of that movement from the shin bone, so you can just have a little play with that, find that movement, then lift up the leg. We'll stretch the leg out. Let's bring the toes in and try and rotate that bone there, and then pull back. Take the toes out and that shin bone out, up, in, back. Don't have to do a whole load of these, but it's just, again, paying attention to each of the joints in whichever way they move. And then once you've done that a few times, release and circle the ankles. So we said heads, shoulders, knees and toes. So we're down to toes. And I might stand up again for this one. You can also try it from seated. So if you look down at your toes, can you lift and spread all your toes? Notice if you're also spreading your fingers. Quite interesting how we often tend to do both at the same time. But really lift and spread all your toes. And what you'll notice there is the instep, your arch of your foot starts to lift and you feel all your legs engage. Let the toes come down and then lift them up and spread them again. And just do that a few times. You want to try and spread the toes as wide as you can. So like really take as much space in between them as you can. Now what I want you to do, and this is the fun part, is see if you lift and spread all of your toes, can you take just your big toes down? Keep all the other toes lifted. And then lift and spread all of your toes and keep your big toes up, but take your other toes down. You might be using your fingers again. Can you go between the two? Big toes down, other toes up. Spread all the toes and then keep your big toes up, take your other toes down. Go between the two, keep doing that. Maybe your brain and your toes are not connected. We find this a lot in class. It takes a while, but you start to build that connection up. And this is the real beauty of mobility work, is that your brain starts to really connect to the joints and what it is that we're asking them to do. And as you practice these mobility drills, you get better at moving your body. You get more connected. Your brain, I mean, how often do you really connect down to your toes? Not very often. So that's it. That's our mobility routine. Neck, we've got thoracic, we've got our shoulder blades, get them moving. We've got our shoulder cars, we've got elbows, wrists, our spinal segmentation, get the spine moving. We've got our hip cars, we've got our knee work, ankles and toes. And if you can get good at that and build it into your day, I promise you, you will really, really, really feel the benefits from just doing a few of those movements every day. So maybe watch it back again, have a little play with it, practice on your own, and once you get that routine down, 5 or 10 minutes a day, and you will have taken care of it. It's like cleaning your teeth. You wouldn't go to work without cleaning your teeth, you know? So, or actually, it's even better than cleaning your teeth. It's like really getting a deep clean. It's like getting into all those little nooks and crannies and opening the body out and cleaning out those joints, and your body will really help you for it. So thank you for practicing with me today. I hope you found that interesting and helpful, and I hope you will try it. And I shall see you soon. Namaste.